మిత్రునాం and బంధుவோం వనక్కము స్వాగతము to South Asia Maps. This is an education channel. Your presenter Dr. JayReddy, Joggari Tirupati Reddy. మిత్రులారా, we are continuing our human ecology series, human predicament series, that is humans on the planet Earth series. This is part 143. The title of today's presentation is Humans, Ecological Takeover and Ecological Succession. This part we'll be discussing about what is meant by the takeover, human takeover, ecological takeover of the planet Earth by humans, and ecological succession of humans, that is little different from normal biota succession or vegetation succession, plant succession or ecological succession. We'll see the interlink between these two before around about from 1500 to 2025 or 2500 years span, what has happened to human beings and what are the implications to our present day living with a overcrowded planet Earth of 8.2 billion humans. And this is our ecological series, and we are in part 143, humans, ecological takeover and ecological succession with reference to Homo sapiens, human species, Homo colossus. And similar ecological concepts I explored before, and these are some of the concepts we talked about. If you are not aware, these are some more, and there are many more. All of them you can find at South Asia Maps JayReddy. It's a YouTube education channel. There are 800 plus videos in 2025 May, and I have put them for your convenience into around about 75 playlists. You can pick and choose your topic of interest. South Asia Maps JayReddy. The human ecological takeover and ecological succession. Before that, we have to understand couple of things. This is the succession. The succession, ecological succession, that's a natural succession among the non-humans, is different from humans, because humans, in addition to genetic traits, they also have social and behavioral traits. And the rest of the non-humans, they have only genetic adaptation, adapting to the environment based upon their genetic traits and corresponding characters or genes. Whereas humans, in addition to that, have behavioral, social, socio-economic adaptations. In that sense, in the ecological sense, humans, you have to look little differently. In addition to natural succession, you have to look at the social succession and behavioral succession. In a sense, there are two types of humans on the planet Earth today. They are interbreeding, less energy consuming traditional Homo sapiens. Their cousins, more energy consuming colossus. That is the aspect we will be looking at with respect to succession, ecological takeover. So ecological community is called sere, a group of community. This is one community, this is other community, this is other community. That means there is a type of species here, types of the species, type of species. Let's say initially there is the bare rock and you have uh, a pond. Then we have a meadow. Then somewhere here a shaded plant, cereal stage. Finally, a mature plant. So these are various cereals, and each these are the cereal stage. Each a cereal stage, a series of cereal stage. In this aspect, we are talking about the Homo sapiens as one cereal stage and Homo colossus as a cereal stage. That is the aspect we are discussing today. Humans' ecological takeover and ecological succession. Here I have represented this hand with humans taking over this is the new world, representing the North America, Central America, Latin America. So these are the European colonizers around about 1500 takeover process. Takeover here I have mentioned a method of enlarging human carrying capacity. That means you can add more number of humans, you can add their higher economic indices, living standards, both are carrying capacity. A method of enlarging the human carrying capacity at the cost of the competitive species, increasing the opportunity of one species, reducing the opportunities for the competing species. When the Europeans landed in the New World after the voyages and discoveries like Columbus and Amerigo Vespucci and all those people made voyages, discovered the New World around about 1500, European colonizers took over the land. At that time, the Native Americans lived a simple subsistence lifestyles with their prairie grasses, flora and fauna, bison, etc. Humans replaced those native Indians. They have replaced local flora, especially like prairie grasses, local fauna, bison, and other living organisms. That is takeover. One species benefited at the cost of other species. Here, that species, in a sense, European colonizers benefited at the cost of local Native American Indians living native flora and fauna. So ecological succession means species composition or ecological community composition changes over the time. That is, the one sera changes to other sera in the seral stage. Seral stage we have seen three or four there, like a pond and a meadow and shade-loving plants and a tall plants like that. Extrapolation of that human succession, human ecological succession with behavioral social aspects, that is seral stage. In that sense, today when compared to 1500, this specifies not only the New World and Old World, the entire America. Here what I have shown is round about 1500, there is the 500 million people lived on the planet Earth, or 550. This is the estimation. Among these 550, round about 250 or so in the rest of Asia, 150 or so in the Europe, and 86 millions in Africa. If you add them together, they're around about 500. And in the New World, when the Europeans landed, there are in South Latin American today, there are 40 millions. In the North America, 6 millions. This is the Australasia or Polynesia, we put 4 million. We say round about 50 million here, round about 500, total 550, or you can round it up to 500 millions, live the entire planet Earth. This is the new world, old world, this is the new world. Currently, the population. So, there are 4.7 billion in Asia, 45 million in Australia region, zero point 0.7 billion in Europe, 1.4 billion in Africa, round about nearly 1 billion in two Americas. And there is less habitat now. That means most of the other species, flora and fauna, were totally taken away in this seral stage. In the ecological takeover, that means increasing the opportunity of one human species by reducing the opportunities of the competing species. Let's say here there is a particular species seral stage, a fully developed forest, wilderness, humans lived among them in simple lifestyles, hunters, gatherers, scavengers, and started agriculture. Their numbers increase, means their carrying capacity increase. That means their living standards, nutrition standard, their numbers increase. After industrializations, agriculture started there. They developed industrial agriculture and industrial economic niches, that is military industrial complex. That is, they turn themselves into simple communities of hunters and gatherers, a particular sera, into a modest subsistence farmers, a particular sera, industrial niched communities, industrial farmers, and enjoying the industrial niches. That is the takeover. In that takeover, we are extrapolating as a human succession, ecological succession of human beings. These various stages here we listed in that ecological succession broadly is the wilderness. We see the primates, other cousins of human beings, humans themselves, the Homo sapiens. In the beginning, before the dawn of agriculture, hunters and gatherers, scavengers, and subsistence farmers, there's the farmers. Then the emergence of the Homo colossals after the discoveries of the coal, oil, industrialization, building of the roads, railway systems, automobiles, and after the steam engine discoveries. Now we have the Homo colossals with industrial farm and industrial niches. Human ecology, human succession, Homo sapiens, Homo colossus. So the earlier seral stage, before the agriculture started, round about there were 8000 CE, BC agriculture started. Now we are in 2025, 180. So there are 8 million people, simple subsistence, hunters and gatherers, then farmers. Now we have 8,000 million. Most of them are trying to be Homo colossals to various degrees, medium to modest to high end Homo colossals. That is a particular seral stage. With respect to ecological succession, Homo sapiens now trying to become Homo colossus, that is the ecological succession, after takeover of the planet Earth and drawdown of the Earth resources. I got the human population here estimated. Whatever I have gathered here, I put it here. You can see, and from the Wikipedia, so that if you are not sure where I got it. So this is estimated, remember. In 1500, there are around about, we say around about 500 million people. In 2025, there should be around about 80 to 100 million people or so. This is the projected. So the distribution in various continents, projected distribution. So what we have discussed is vegetal succession or plant succession is a little different from human succession, where the plant succession is mostly based upon genetic traits. Humans, in addition to genetic traits, have the behavioral traits, and this behavioral succession is a different aspect when compared to the normal biological succession. In that today we can find out two types of the human beings, Homo sapiens and Homo colossus. Before the dawn of the agriculture, 8 million Homo sapiens as hunters gatherers lived. After agriculture, 1818, 1 billion subsistence farmers at a seral stage lived. Now there are around about 8 billion people on the planet Earth. Substantial section of them are Homo colossals, giant resource consumers, and that seral stage is very difficult to survive because of lack of resources. That has serious implications in the coming years as our numbers has to go down, our economic status has to go down in order to fit into the ecological system. So that's what we talked about today, humans, ecological takeover, humans and ecological succession today. In the next presentations, Mitranam, we talk about agriculture, succession, and human success. Agricultural succession and human success, and misunderstanding of the human success and agriculture succession. Thank you very much for joining me today, and we'll see you in the next presentation. Your presenter, Dr. JayReddy.